welcome back to your physics class. Today's topic is real depth and apparent depth. Let's see here in this video a very simple experiment is being performed. Over here an empty cup is first taken and a coin is put into the cup. Initially the coin can be seen, but the cup is moved away to a position where you find the coin is no longer visible. Now let's see what happens. Water is slowly added into the cup. Now gradually as the water level is increasing in the cup due to more addition of water, you will find that the coin is becoming gradually more and more visible. The more you are adding water, the more the coin is becoming visible, and after some time, after the addition of some more water is complete, you will find that from a position where it was previously not visible, the coin is completely visible. So why do you think this is happening? So we saw that the coin was visible when water was added. So from a position where it was previously not visible, if it become visible after water was added, does it mean the coin must have been raised from its initial position? So why does the coin placed under water appear raised? Now before we answer the question, we need to revise some concepts we have studied. That is, light travels from water to air. We know very well speed of light is increased. That means light travels from denser medium to lighter medium, speed of light is increased. And next one, light bends away from the normal at the point of incidence. In this case, the surface of water, okay, Nana, so it bends away from the normal. Please observe the peak. Here we find that rays of light from the coin are reaching the surface of water. Here the coin has been placed at the bottom, and as you can see from that, the rays of light are reaching the water surface from inside water. So what can we say? We can say that the rays of light are traveling from a denser medium to a rarer medium. Now the normals at the points of incidence on the surface of the water has been drawn. So since rays of light are incident from a denser medium to a rarer medium, refraction will take place and the refracted rays will bend away from the normal. So as you can see in this animation, the refracted rays are bending away from the normal and they are shifting away from the normal. Now obviously for an observer, he will think that the light rays are coming from a straight path, because observer cannot observe the zigzag path that the light rays are taking. So for any observer or any human being for that matter, since he or she will not be able to perceive the zigzag ray, because our eyes always perceive rays of light coming from a straight path. We need to exploit. When I say exploit means I mean produce them backwards in order to obtain the straight line path. Now you will notice that the moment we exploit these rays, we obtain an image of the coin. You will notice that an extrapolation of the refracted rays, the image of the coin is obtained at a position that does not correspond with the actual position of the coin. This position of the coin where we get the image is raised, and it is above the actual position of the coin, and it is from this point where the observer thinks that the rays of light are coming. Thus we see that the point of intersection of the refracted rays giving us the image is not the same as the actual position of the coin. So this is the reason why an addition of water, where initially the coin was not visible, the coin is now visible because of the refraction of light at the water air interface. So we can see that the actual position of the coin is this, and at this position, apparent position which the observer thinks the coin has been placed at. So it is due to this reason that the coin that is placed under water appears raised, because due to the extrapolation of the refracted rays, they seem to be coming from a point that is not corresponding with the original point, but it is raised. So this is the reason why the coin placed under water appears raised. Now let us familiarize ourselves with some technical terms. The depth at which the coin has actually been placed is known as the real depth, because that is the actual depth where the coin is, and the depth at which the observer thinks the coin is, okay, that depth we can call as apparent depth, because to the observer it is apparent that the coin is actually at that place. So this is known as apparent depth. So if we take a quick recap, we learned that when a coin is placed in water, or for that matter any other object, it will not appear at its original position. It will appear raised. Just like we saw in this video, we had kept a coin in an empty glass at first, and we had kept it at a position where we could not see the coin. Once we added water in the cup, the coin was visible to us. This was because of the refraction of light rays at the water-air interface. So this is the story of the active technical terms. See here, this is the pick. All members please see here. This is a pick. So this is the actual position of the coin. All members see here. This is the actual position of the coin. Suppose just mark this one as O. The actual position of the coin is marked as O. Okay, right. This is O. Right. So this is which position? This is which position? This is the which position? Apparent position. Apparent position means this is nothing but image. This is image of coin. That means the observer is able to see image, not the actual coin. Yes or no, Vishnu Teja?
Yes,
Hello,
sir.
Vishnu Teja. Please respond, my dear children. Dear, please respond. Dikshita. So my question is, why the coin appears to be raised? Can anyone? Tanmay. Tanmay, why the coin appears to be raised?
Refraction.
Why the coin appears to be raised, girl?
Refraction.
Yes. I am not audible. Varshika?
We can hear you, sir, but in middle it is there.
In middle? No, my voice is clear?
Yes.
Now it is clear, sir.
Yes. No, Jignesh.
Yes, sir.
Right. Here the coin appears to be raised or not?
Yes, sir.
Why the coin appears to be raised?
So refraction of the light takes place, sir. So
Oh,
the observer thinks that the light rays are straight. So if we extrapolate the light rays on the image, the unreal image is formed. So there he thinks that the coin is there, but actually the light rays bent from the actual position of the coins.
see then why the here observer sees actual position of coin or apparent position of the coin?
Apparent position of the coins.
Why? Why? My question is
Because
why? Yeah.
the coin appears to be raised due to refraction, sir.
Yes, the coin appears to be raised due to refraction of light. See here important thing is coin is in which medium?
Water, sir.
See here, coin is in water. Observer is in,
Air, sir.
that means here object, coin is in water, observer is in air. That means both are in different mediums. If both are in different mediums, then refraction takes place. Due to refraction of light, the coin appears to be displaced from its real position or not.
Yes, sir.
That means if observer and the object are situated in two different positions, we do not see its actual position. That is a clear. Clear or not? See,
Yes, sir.
observer and object are situated in two different positions. We do not see its actual position. The depth, see, the depth we see. Actually, we see only apparent depth, but the actual depth is real depth. Clear, Jignesh? Then
Yes, sir.
any relation is there? Any relation is there between real depth and apparent depth? Here, find that relation. Okay, find that relation. For this purpose, here I am writing refractive index of water is denoted by N2, refractive index of air is denoted by N1. So, my dear children, first imagine, consider a ray which is traveling normally. See here, this is traveling normally. Clear? So
Yes.
this is the object and this is the image. Now any relation is there between real depth, apparent depth and refractive indices. So please write a relation. So my dear children, here important thing is the real depth is denoted by D. All members remember. Now I am giving a technical relation, real depth and apparent depth and refractive index, because to calculate easily. So real depth is denoted by D. Please remember this. And apparent depth is denoted by D dash. So my dear children, D means real depth. D means real depth. And D dash means? D dash means?
Apparent depth.
Apparent depth.
D dash means apparent depth. And one more important thing, my dear, is D and D dash always measured from surface. So this is very, very important. D and D dash measured always measured from surface. Always measured from surface. Always measured from surface. Clear, Jignesh? Tanmay, Orshika,
Yes, sir.
Clear, sir.
Jaitej, Jashwant.
Clear, sir.
Then one more important thing. Then remember N2. N2 means here always remember N2. N2 means where the object is placed. The medium in which object is placed, that medium we consider as N2. Here coin is placed in water. So simply N2 means from which light is coming. Please remember, from which light is coming, that is N2. From which light is coming, that is N2. Then N1 means, my dear children, N1 means light is going. Light is going. So here N2 means from which light is coming. So that means from this kind light is coming and it is bending and it is entering into ice. So light is coming from N2. From which medium light is coming, that medium is considered as N2. From in which light is going, that medium is considered as N1. So these are the standards one. Any doubts?
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Then there is a relationship between these. Right. I am writing the relation. Please remember this one. That is N2 by N1 is equal to D by D dash is equal to real depth by apparent depth. This is the relation. Real depth by apparent depth. Real depth by apparent depth. This is the relationship between refractive index and real depth and apparent depth. Clear? Any doubts?
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
No. Right? Already you know very well. When light goes, normally it goes undue. That's why I drawn like this. So we know when light goes normally, angle of incidence is equal to 0. Angle of refraction also is equal to 0. So this is the relation, Nana. Okay? Now we are going to start proof of this relation. Are you ready, all members?
Yes, sir.
This proof is very important, Nana. It will come. Right. Right. See, Nana. Right. Real depth is denoted by, my dear children, real depth is denoted by
D.
apparent depth is denoted by D dash. Right.
Yes.
Here O is the object. O is the object. Already we know object is placed in water here. Water or glass, whatever may be, it is a denser medium. Okay, Nana? And
Okay.
observer is in rarer medium, that is air. Then we know very well the object appears to be at a lesser depth than its real depth. This is because of refraction of light. So consider a point source O at the bottom of the beaker filled with water. So ray from ray of light OA, which falls normally on the plane surface, passes undeviated. We know very well, when a ray is passing normally, angle of incidence is equal to 0 and angle of refraction is also equal to 0. So the ray goes undeviated, because for the refraction of light we need at least two refractor rays. So this is first refractor ray and we are considering this is another refractor ray. Next, consider another ray, but this time the ray is obliquely. The ray is traveling from water to air obliquely. Please observe here, my dear children. So ray of light OB is traveling from water to air obliquely. So this is the point of incidence. So at the point of incidence, draw a normal. Here N and N dash has normal rays. So it makes an angle. This angle is called angle of incidence I. And this is a refractor ray. The refractor ray bends away from the normal, and this is angle of refraction, that is R. So the angle of refraction is R. Clear, my dear?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
this is the refractor ray. So for this I, see these two rays are very close actually. These two rays are very, very close, my dear children. Very close. So in order to understand purpose, I drawn somewhat little bit far, but actually these two rays are very close. So for our eyes, these two are refractor rays. This is also refractor ray. This is also refractor ray. So these two refractor rays appears coming from here, I. Clear? If we extended these two rays backwards, they meet at this point. So here, this is the image, virtual image of real object to an observer in rarer medium. So the depth AO is called the real depth, and depth AI is called the apparent depth. Clearly, apparent depth AI is smaller than the real depth. Clear, my dear children? Any doubts?
No, sir.
No.
No. And one more important thing, if you observe very closely, see here, this is I, and here these two are parallel rays. These two are normals. Here, these are normals, and here, this is the I is angle of incidence with this normal. If this is I, means this is also I or not? Alternate angles. Yes or no? If
Yes.
this is I, means this is also I drawn here, alternate angles. Clear? Next here, this is R, my dear children. Here R is like this. If this is R, means this is also R or not? This is also R or not? If this is R, means this is also R or not? Corresponding angles. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. Clear, my dear children? Clear?
Yes.
Then already you know, from light is coming from which medium? That is N2. The light is coming from water, so this is N2, and light is going into air, so this is N1. So this is N1, right? Then if angles are given, then refractive index is given, then use Snell's law. So then use Snell's law, right? Snell's law. Then use Snell's law. That's Snell's law. So here refractive index in this medium is N2. So write N2. And here angle is I, because here angle of incidence is I. For that I apply sine. So that is sine I is equal in this medium. The refractive index is N1. And in this medium the angle is R. For that apply sine. So sine R. So this is Snell's law. And here, my dear children, if you observe the rays, two parallel rays, these two rays are paraxial rays. I said already. Paraxial means they are very, very close. These two rays are very, very close. When these two rays are very, very close, here angles also very, very small. Because here these rays are forming angles with the normals. If two normals are very, very close, then the angles are very, very small. If rays are paraxial, the angles are very, very small. So here angle of incidence and angle of refraction are very small. Very, very small. Clear, my dear children?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And see, between these two, simply I am writing between these two, the distance is x, suppose. Simple, small distance. Right. Now see here, if angles are very, very small, we know very well, I will write here, very, very, if theta is very small, angles are very small. What happens? If theta is very small, what happens? You know very well. What is sine theta? Sine theta is equal to opposite by hypotenuse or not? Yes or no? If theta is very, very small, means simply theta nearly equal to 0. If theta is nearly equal to 0, means this hypotenuse is making an angle with this adjacent or not. If theta is very, very nearly equal to, means the hypotenuse is nearly equal to adjacent or not. So in the place of hypotenuse, we can write adjacent also, because those two are equal. Then in the place of hypotenuse, write adjacent. Then opposite by adjacent, that is equal to tan theta or not. So my dear children, if angles are very, very small, in the place of sine I, we can write tan I. Clear?
Yes.
Sir.
In the place of sine R, we can write tan R. Then substitute in the formula. No, N2 sine I is equal to, we can write tan I is equal to N1 sine R is equal to tan R. Any doubts?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. Right. Now see here. All. Now tan, apply tan. Because we know here opposite and adjacent. See here, apply tan I means for object. I is for object. So apply. See here, here I am drawing. See here. See here, object, surface. This is the surface. And here object. Surface to object. The distance is real depth. Nothing but D. Nothing but D. And here angle is I. And between these two perpendicular lines, normal lines, the distance is x. So from this, write tan I. Tan I means opposite by adjacent. Here opposite how much? X. Adjacent is how much? D. So that is x by d or not? My dear children.
Yes, sir.
Next for tan R, to calculate tan R. Tan R means for image. So draw for image. So this is a triangle. Image means here I, and at image the angle is R. This is again x distance only. Again x distance, but this is a plane surface. Plane surface to image distance. The distance is d dash. So here tan R is equal to, here opposite is x and adjacent is d dash. So substitute here, then it becomes N2. In the place of tan I, x by d is equal to, in the place of tan R, x by d dash or not? Clear, my dear?
Yes, sir.
Then x gets cancelled. x gets cancelled. Then n1 comes this side, n2 by n1, d goes that side, d by d dash. D is nothing but here real depth. D is nothing but real depth. D dash is nothing but apparent depth. Apparent depth. So this is the relationship between refractive index and real depth and apparent depth. That means by knowing the refractive index of mediums, already you know refractive index of medium values. So by knowing the refractive index medium values, we can calculate depth. If you know one of the depth, suppose if you know real depth, we can calculate apparent depth. Clear? Any doubts?
No, sir.
That means here N2 means light is coming from which medium? N1 means light is going into which medium? So N2 by N1 is equal to real depth by apparent depth. Right. Now solve one problem. Solve one problem. Right. Solve this question. The depth of a swimming pool is 2 meters. Find its apparent depth. See here, this is a very important concept and misconcept. So many children think that the swimming pool is very shallow, but actually the swimming pool depth is 2 meters, but for us it appears some less than 2 meters. Clear or not, my dear? So what is the answer
Yes,
here? What is the answer? Can anyone? Anyone? Let all members here. This is very important question. So problems will come from this section. Let's see here. First draw the figure. The depth of a swimming pool. See here, this is the swimming pool. Right, see here. This is a swimming pool depth. So this point we can call O. Okay, and here, see here, these are the waters. So water. This is the surface of the. Already we know from surface to where the depth is, that is the real depth or not. Real depth is denoted by d or not, my dear. Now first ray, draw a normal ray. So normal, this is a normal, it goes undeviated. And another one is oblique incidence. So this is oblique incidence. At this point, draw a normal. So now see here, this is the refractor ray. For us, these two rays extend backwards. So here, for us, this is for our appears, this is the depth. This depth we can call as apparent depth, that is d dash or not. Yes or no, my dear?
Yes, sir.
This is water, this is air. Now, my dear children, light ray is, where are the incident ray? Here, incident ray is this one. So, incident rays are in which medium? That is considered as N2 or not? Incident rays are in which medium? That is considered as N2. Why? Because N2 is a medium from which light is coming. Next, where is the refractor ray? Where is the refractor? That medium considered as N1. Clear, my dear? Then
Yes,
write
sir.
here N2 by N1 is equal to real depth by, always remember this formula, N2 by N1 is equal to real depth by apparent depth. Next, my question is N2 means where is the incident ray? Consider that one as N2 medium. Clear? So your incident ray is water, so N2 is water. So in the place of N2, write refractive index of water. N1 means refractive index of air is equal to real depth by apparent depth. Real depth by apparent depth. Refractive index of water value how much? 4/3 or not? Next,
Yes, sir.
refractive index of air value how much? 1.
1.
Substitute here. Substitute in this. Refractive index of water is 4/3 by refractive index of air 1 is equal to real depth. So real depth value is given, that is 2 meter. So here D is given 2 meter. So substitute here 2 meter by apparent depth. by apparent depth. Then cross multiply, then apparent depth is equal to 2 meter by 4 by 3 or not? It becomes 2 meter into, if it comes into numerator, 3 by 4. 2 1 ja, 2 2 ja, that is 3 by 2. That is equal to 1.5. So apparent depth how much?
1.5 meters.
1.5.
Apparent depth is 1.5, my dear children. So this is apparent depth. That means actually the depth of the swimming pool is 2 meter. But for the observer who is observing from air, for that fellow, the depth of the swimming pool appears 1.5 meter only. Then from this we can calculate normal shift also. See, a normal shift means this is a normal shift. Normal means here the shift is perpendicular. In the case of rectangular glass slab, the shift is lateral. But here shift is perpendicular or not? You can calculate normal shift also. Calculate normal shift. How much normal shift here? Normal shift means raised. How much not here normal shift?
0.5 meters.
Normal shift. Normal shift means here raised actual depth is 2 meter. So normal shift means this one. This is how much total is 2 meter and this is 1.5. If you minus 2.5 minus 1.5, that is equal to 0.5 meter. So your normal shift is 0.5 meter. So normal shift is nothing but raised. The object is raised, appears to be raised 0.5 meters. Any doubts?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Right. Let's solve this problem. Let's solve this problem. A coin is placed at the bottom of a beaker. A coin is placed at the bottom of a beaker containing water to a depth of 12 centimeter. Find the apparent position or apparent depth of the coin. What is the answer?
9.
Yeah. Yes.
9
Simple.
centimeter.
Same question. So draw first and place a coin here. This is the bottom of the beaker. Then draw surface. See, this is surface of water. Okay. This is the actual depth. Water of actual depth is 12 centimeter. 12 centimeter. Then draw rays. First ray is normal ray. See, the ray is going normally. It goes undeviated. Next one is oblique incidence. See, this is a refractor ray. So these two refractors appears come here. So this is the apparent depth. The apparent depth is denoted by D dash. So this is D dash. The actual depth is D. Right. This is water. So observer is in air. Already you know refractive index of 4 by 3. Refractive index of air, that is equal to 1. We know the formula, that is N2 by N1 is equal to real depth by apparent depth. Real depth by apparent depth. So my dear children, all these are very, very important. While you are doing the problems, here please follow my tricks. N2 means where is the incident ray? Where is the incident ray? Incident ray is in water. So substitute here refractive index of water. N1 means where is the refractor ray? Refractor ray is in air. So substitute here refractive index of air is equal to real depth. Here real depth is 12 centimeter by apparent depth. By apparent depth. Right, refractive index of water is 4 by 3. By refractive index of air 1. This is equal to 12 centimeter by apparent depth. Then cross multiply. From this apparent depth is equal to 12 centimeter by 4 by 3. It becomes 3 by 4 into 12 centimeters. So 4 1 ja, 4 3 ja, that is 3 into 3, 3 into 3, that is 9 centimeter. So here apparent depth is equal to 9 centimeters. Then we can calculate normal shift also. Right, normal shift how much?
3
How much
centimeters.
the How much the coin appears to be raised? This is actually 12. Actually is 12 centimeter. For us appears 9 centimeter. So the coin is raised. See, this is the raising of the coin. The coin is raised 3 centimeters. That is equal to 3 centimeters. So the normal shift is 3 centimeters. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Right. Next one. Next one. Please solve this problem. Please solve this one. Super questions are there. Bird, fish. This problem. A water pond appears to be 2.7 meter deep. If the refractive index of water is 4/3, find the actual depth of the pond. So I stop with the presentation.